I'm back. Sorry for the long absence. But it just felt kind of silly to make videos because I was just doing more IUIs, and it just, I don't know, it's kind of the same story over and over again, no new information. So last I left you, we were going on vacation. We had a great vacation in June. And then in July, we did an IUI, but it wasn't successful. It was a rough one. I started to spot on 10 days DPO, so I thought it was implantation bleeding, but it wasn't. So I was convinced I was pregnant once again. And it's so awful because you just can't understand why the tests aren't becoming positive, because obviously, like, why else would I be spotting at 10 DPO, which is 10 days before my period comes. It was 10 days before my period came, but it was just, I don't know, a fluke, or maybe, I don't know what happened, but it sucks. So I wasn't pregnant, and then we did another one in August, but before that I did a I forget what, HSG, maybe, I can't remember what it's called, but it's where they take kind of like an MRI of your uterus with a balloon and ink or something in there, to make sure that your fallopian tubes are clear and everything's okay in your uterus. This was to make sure that there was no scar tissue or anything left over from the miscarriage in January. And the doctor who did it was like, yep, you look good. There's this little blip down here near your cervix, but that is probably just a defect from the balloon and the catheter, and like on the image, it's probably from that. And so he was like, but if there's if you need any follow-up, I'll let you know. Never heard anything, so I was like, great, good to go. Did another IUI, didn't work, but I never felt pregnant. I never thought it was going to work. So then that was August. So I just started my new cycle on Saturday. So that's about four or 5 days ago. On Monday, I called the doctor's office to say, okay, we're doing an embryo transfer. I'm done with IUIs. I can't do another one. It's too hard emotionally. The ups and the downs, and I'm just like sick of waiting, and it's clearly not working. I've done 8 IUIs. I mean, only 5 of them were with this doctor, but still, it's a lot of IUIs. So then the doctor calls and says, oh, we can't do the transfer because of this blip on this scan that you had, and we have to do a follow-up scan in case it's scar tissue from the miscarriage. I was like, what? First of all, why wasn't I told about this a month ago when I had my scan? I could have gone right back in to do the second test to make sure everything was okay, so I didn't waste money on an IUI if it is scar tissue, and also didn't have to waste a month. Like, I just thought, like, okay, September is the month. We're going to do the frozen embryo transfer, and fingers crossed everything's going to go really well and we'll be pregnant. And now they're like, oh no, just kidding, you can't do that. So I got really upset. I was like, I was crying. I was going from the dentist to work, and I had to like sit in the parking lot and like try not to cry because I had to go right back to work. And I'm like choking down tears and talking to the nurse, and I'm like, I can't, like, what happened? So she's like, we have to bring you in for the scan. And I said, well, I want to start the estrogen. And she was like, well, we can't schedule you for anything until we know that your body is okay and ready for embryo transfer, which I totally agree with. I don't want to do the embryo transfer if there's a chance that, something could prevent it from attaching beyond just, luck. But what if the scan, and so we scheduled the scan for the following Wednesday. So that's next week. And sorry, not the week. So this was Monday, and they didn't have an appointment until a week from the next Wednesday. So like 10 days. And I was like, what happens if we have that scan and everything's fine and it was just a defect from the tube? And then I've just can't do anything this month because it's too late to do anything. And she was like, okay, well, and I'm like crying, and she was like, okay, well, let me talk to the doctor and see what we can figure out. So they came back to me and they're like, okay, so we'll start you on the estrogen, and as if we're going to do the FET, but you'll have the scan on Wednesday, and then if the scan comes back that there's scar tissue, you'll just stop the estrogen. So basically, if the scan comes back with scar tissue, I will have just wasted some money on some meds, and I'll just stop the meds, and whatever I have left over, I'll use for the next month when we actually do the frozen embryo transfer. So, but if everything's fine, then we can just move ahead and do the frozen embryo transfer, which would be really, 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 really great. I really hope that's the case. So that's the story. If it is scar tissue, I didn't ask what that means, like what has to happen. I wonder if I have to have a DNC, which I'm really hoping that's not the case. But I guess I can't really think of what else they would do. It's probably not called a DNC at that point, but I think it's the same idea. They just go and scrape out your uterus. And then we would do the frozen embryo transfer hopefully the next month. I don't know. I haven't really discussed that with the doctor, but I have an appointment with him the day after the scan, this test. So I'll know more after talking to him. Meanwhile, I'm on the estrogen, so I'm taking oral estrogen pills. I think it's 2 milligrams 2 times a day, and then the patch, which I have on my skin, which I have to switch out every 3 days. So I've been really tired. So I don't know, there's a lot going on. So I just started a new job. I'm only working part-time, but I was waking up really early so to go to work, which I'm not used to. Being a grad student, I'm just used to being able to be really flexible, work when I want to work. So that could be why I'm tired, but I've noticed I'm tired, I'm emotional, and just like I cry pretty much at everything, including commercials and I don't know, anything. And I did have a wicked headache a couple days ago, and then I am stuffy, but again, I don't know. They're really minor, and but the worst is on insomnia. Oh my God, for the past 3 nights, I've not been able to sleep well, which might be why I'm tired. Last night I was up at 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. And like at the 2 a.m. one, I was up. Like I had to like read to try to go back to sleep, which never happens to me. Like I usually just sleep through the night. Even if I have to get up and go to the bathroom, I usually can just go straight back to sleep. And I was kind of tossing and turning all night. So that sucks. Now that I think about it, that's definitely why I'm tired. And I don't know if that's a side effect of estrogen or not, but it's happened since I started it on Monday. So seems to be a big coincidence there. Anyway, yeah, so that's the story. So I won't know anything else until kind of a week from today or yesterday. I'll update you guys on what the scan says. It's a saline ultrasound, I think. So I think they kind of, I don't really know. I actually have no idea what to expect, except for that it's done in the doctor's office. So I can't be too medical. I think I wonder if it's an internal ultrasound or external. I have no idea, but I'll let you guys know when I find out. So all would have been really good questions for the nurse, but I didn't really care. All I cared about was whether we were going to be able to do the FET this month or not. So my focus wasn't on this scan. I don't know, at some point with all of these procedures, you're just like, yeah, whatever. Okay, just tell me where to be. And if I need to prep anything. So, you just kind of go with it, I guess, or at least I do. Anyway, so I will let you guys know. Sorry, this is kind of getting long here, and I super appreciate you guys sticking with me, even though I kind of disappeared off the face of YouTube for a while there, but it was just routine IUIs, so not much to report. Anyway, I really hope we can do the FET this month. I'm really excited. I really want to be pregnant. All right. I will talk to you guys, or I'll update you guys again next week. Thanks. Bye.